uh, Krishna. Hello, Krishna.
Hi.
Uh, can you,
Hi,
like,
hi.
what was your first line? Like, the disbalance between the the disbalance which society has, state play into it. Like, state negotiate with it in terms, to maintain the socialist, in terms to maintain the status quo.
Yeah.
That that was something which you were arguing for. Like, and like like as far as I understand Foucault, and I'm with you. I'm with you. Foucault is in many ways also saying that it is, yeah, the disciplining regime or the power knowledge
It's cutting.
action on next test, we discipline our subjects, but they themselves are consciously, they submit to the mechanism. That is something which I understand from Foucault. It is about creating a subjectivity, like in birth of clinic. Like it is, yes, it is about, how that medical gaze functions, but it is also about how and what, uh, quote unquote, uh, patient feels. And he he has moved away from Parsonian way of looking at that interaction or that relationship. This is my involvement with Foucault. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, I do agree with that. I mean, there is the other side of this, where even Foucault talks about that in Discipline and Punishment. What is the subject doing here? Uh, the systems are always there. Even there is a process through which the systems come up, they evolve, they stand, and then there is a subject. I even mentioned in one part of my writing that there is a series of subjection that is happening here. It is not just that the systems are there, but there is also the
Mhm.
subjection of who is being subject to or who is being enacted upon. So it is always there in Foucault. It is actually, I mean, elaborates on the point as well. But the exclusions that are there, it's not normal, it is not natural, it's all a construct.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and they place the subject within that system, and it becomes, it appears to be very natural, and that's why the general conscience, the public conscience, think of prison as the first resort when they think about uh, punishment. When they think
Mhm.
about illegality, they think about prison, which it was not the case before 18th century or before the emergence of prison.
and I am also interested, like one of my colleagues, if I can engage with you on this, like one of my colleagues, we were visiting this old age home, and there was somebody who was quote unquote, mentally bit ill. Like she told me uh, that this girl is not mentally very stable. And Samir, I think that these people are best treated in some mental asylum. So it is not only about creating their subjectivity, it is also creating the, the point which you were also hinting upon, like it is also creating a general awareness in society that these are the people who who are there to be kept away because they can harm us. So, like, I'm more interested, and Savio, you can also pitch in and same Javi. Like, I am more interested how then, when, how we can as academician engage with these complexities where, like, let's say there is somebody who who has quote unquote, uh, a sibling who is intellectually disabled. Okay? And let's say if she is emotionally like very much disturbed because of it. Okay? Then how we can utilize people to liberate her. Are you following my point? Like, I don't want to keep our wonderful liberated theories only to the books. Like for me, I would tell anybody that uh, as you were also saying that that's the way society has been constructed. And if I if I may quote Judith Butler has said that discourse is nothing but the way we think about things. So would you agree with me? How, like, I am no social worker, I am a sociology student, but I am interested to take these theories to, make them understand the so-called commoners that theories are not something which you guys don't do. You guys do theories and, like, you formulate certain things which we reflect upon, and then we can question their biases and we can make more egalitarian society. Yeah, that is yeah.
Somebody's going up, making a very valid point because whenever we talk about theory to in a general audience, in personal discussions, they always think that you talk theory and you cannot practice theory. This is you
Mm.
talk and you cannot practice. There are two takes on it. I view it in two different ways. One, people like Foucault or say the principle of or uh,
It's
Habermas,
cutting.
they mine is cutting.
No, it's cut. It was cutted here. I
Uh-huh.
couldn't.
Okay, maybe because of the mic, it's a little low.
Okay.
So they all formulate their theories out of observations, out of very solid what do you call evidences and assumptions from that. So this is one side. It's like theory is not the theory as science would call it. There is a difference between that, right?
Mm.
Science theories are for application. The social theories are like studies of existing systems or reflections on what exists. But Samir is making a valid point in which would help to take theory from that dormant observation position into something that which can change, which can bring about a change. Now, I can very well understand what Samir is talking about because I'm basically from India. I'm just working here in Bahrain. So I know what is the situation in India, the attitude towards people with difficulties. You know, as Samir said, I can really understand what that stigma is associated with our society.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
if you like if you would destigmatize an identity, it is wonderful that, like, it is as anybody else. Like, disability is bad because it is negatively constituted in our consciousness.
exactly. This is like discipline, like the idea of discipline that
Yeah,
Foucault tells.
yeah, very much.
I'm very curious with some perspectives of Samir. He said about life his stories that he is constructing. It's a kind of Foucauldian exercise and practice of discourses of writing of the self. That's the same way that you are thinking about. I'd like to listen more about it because it's a very interesting perspective that you are thinking with Foucault to construct, for example, a narrative. I'm working in education questions, and here is this kind of neoliberal reforms in Brazil on education for this kind of human capitalism that is appear, and the writing of self. I don't know if this English term in Foucault writing of self is okay.
Sorry,
Yes, yes, it's okay. Writing of self is a kind of a narrative or counter narrative to describe the experience inside of neoliberal biopolitics strategies, biopolitics reason. And sometimes people say that's a kind of liberal terms because they are understanding writing of self as a liberal exercise of the individual that writes of your own life. But I think that's not the point, and I would like to hear more your experience in the life stories to understand more this kind of writing of self without individual limits of these terms. That's a kind of neoliberal uh, way to describe yourself, your abilities, your meritocracy, and so on and so forth. And I would like to hear more about it, Samir, about you.
as in, I can share like I have recently published my own life story. It is there. It is published by page in a volume. So what I did when I was writing about myself, I wrote it in very postmodern way. I in a way unpacked my life where on one hand, yes, uh, yes, uh, disability in terms of like I'm using disability synonym to impairment right now. Uh, so disability does have certain impact, but if you like privilege narrator accounts of it. So it is his life. Like a person like me won't say that, okay, I fell down. That's why I'm feeling bad about myself per se.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it is the other way around. Like how a non-disabled, you know, how a non-disabled views a body. You uh,
Mm-hmm.
when I was at here in Delhi, like I did my graduation from Delhi University, uh, from Hindu College. So
Great.
what happened after a month? A group of friends, in order to make me more self-dependent, what they did, they started ignoring me. They said, let Samir help himself. Uh, then I told them that, hey, guys, I'm not enjoying the recent treatment meted out to me by you guys, and what is happening here, and if it is about disability, my disability, and or your independence, then let me tell you that nobody is independent. We all are interdependent, and
Mm.
even I have documented all the things. Uh, so I like if I am a person with impairment, so I like I was anxious about this thing, and for last 3 days I was reading about Foucault. So I am not somebody who is only thinking, oh, I'm a disabled from South Asia, from blah, 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 how I'm going to survive and all. No, no, no. I'm thinking about many things. I'm thinking about, I have to finish my PhD. I'm thinking about all my crushes during college time. So, uh, uh, and I'm also thinking about uh, female colleague of mine whom I have told in many unsaid terms that I like you and she is not really responding. So it pains me rather than uh, other way around that my being disabled is paining me. So you know how society is evaluating you. That pains me. So yeah, hope I
Mm.
answer your question about how this is basically a discursive construction where larger society's consciousness. Okay? So
Mm.
I'm happy to be called as disabled person or person with disability because it would tell me that the other person is accepting me as me.
Mhm.
Like
Yes.
yeah, that is it. Yeah. But
Yes.
clear about how identity politics is also, affected by you know, like all these theories regarding identity politics is basically coming from US and the UK. But probably in India we don't have identity politics vis-a-vis disabled people. We only have cultural notions like recently 4 to 5 years back our prime minister uh, gave us this name Divyang, Divyangjan, which is divine bodies, just to make us happy as probably Krishna would be aware about it. So yeah, so in India it is cultural discourse. So it is not a liberation per se, but it is on the other hand, these cultural discourses also helps a disabled person living a life. Because sometimes even rights-based approach has its limitation because it is also governed by this ideology of individualism. So yeah, that is it.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Savio, you want to ask? Savio, I want to ask you, like, as I got your paper, you are harping about critical thinking per se. Okay? Uh, so, like, and you are connecting critical theorists and Foucault. So, uh, can you also think it more in terms of,